Alright guys, how we doing? Charles Matlack here, and today we are going to go over our first lesson in the Spanish language. Now, what is the first thing anybody learns when learning a new language? Whether it be your native language in first or second grade, or a new language that you are learning on your own. Well, of course, that is the alphabet, or in Spanish, el alfabeto. Now, here we have, I'm going to go over the pronunciation of the Spanish alphabet very quickly. Okay, I'm next on the right. We have a host of images that give us a word that utilizes that specific or respective letter. For example, A for abeja, B for ballena. So I'm going to go down the line. I'm going to read these letters out loud. I'm going to pronounce them. I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds to repeat after me to practice your pronunciation. I'm going to then say the word associated with that letter, and we are going to move down the line. All right, guys, so here we go. To start off, we have A, as in abeja. Next, B, as in ballena. Then C, as in casa. Now you might notice there, C and casa are two different pronunciations. Casa uses a hard C, and after we go over these letters quickly, we're going to delve a little bit deeper into the differences, how to pronounce some of these letters. So next we have che, de, as in dado, e, as in estrella, f, as in flor. Now over here we have je. Now depending which country we are in, this G is pronounced a little bit differently, but in Spain it has kind of a drawl to it, kind of a je. So je, as in globo. Globo's said at the beginning, but for example, gema, twin, gema has a bit of a je to it. Next we have H, the infamous H, so we know that H is silent in Spanish. The H is silent, something very important to remember. So this is not pronounced helado, it is pronounced helado. With a silent H. Going on, isla, J, jaula, K, koala, L, lupa, ella. Now this again, the double L, many of you have probably seen this. Now, the double L makes a sound like a j sound. So for example, we don't have a letter or item here, but calle. Next we have M, manzana. N, nube. Ñ, ñandu. O, ojo. P, pulpo. K, queso. R, ratón. Now also, I don't know why it's not here, but we have the two R's, the doble R, which is pronounced R, where we have to roll our tongue there. So I don't know why that's not there, but we'll include that. S, sapo. T, as in tomate. U, as in uva. V, as in vaca. W, as in windsurf. Windsurf. W is an odd letter, you don't see much. Now we have X, as in xylophone. Finally, Y, as in yuca. And at the end, we have zeta. Zeta, as in zapato. Now, guys, I'm going to bring up for you here some different lessons we have that we'll go over. So some of these letters and some of the more hard to know letters for English speakers. Now, for example, we're looking at the letter L. Okay, in Spanish, the letter L is pronounced exactly as in English. The letter double L, as we said, ella, is pronounced similar to the letter Y in English. For example, with the single L, we have buenos colegios, reloj nuevo. But if we go down here to our double L, we have unas llantas. Alguien me llamó. Okay, so that double L has a Y sound. Next, in Spanish, the letter H has no sound. The letter CH is pronounced like the letter ch in the word chair. So here we go, practice our silent H. We have hubo daños, los huevos, agua con hielo. So see how there's a silent H? And now our CH, very common in English. Mucho tiempo. Escuchaste la música. Okay, so that's our H and our CH. Now let's move on to N and the letter ñ. Okay, so N is similar to English, whereas the letter ñ is pronounced like the letter NY in the word cañón. So it's a ñ sound. Nadie, normal N, so our one N we have no accent. We have nadie entra. Sonarse la nariz. Now we go to our ñ. We have niña divertida. Baño público pequeño. La fiesta es mañana. Okay? So again, we learn how that N and that ñ are different. Now here is a hard one to learn. This will be our last one that we'll go over for this lesson. But C is pronounced differently depending on the vowel that follows it. Now, much like in English, we have certain consonants that are pronounced differently depending on which vowel follows that consonant. The same goes for English, or the same goes for Spanish, excuse me. So, in Spanish, the letter C, when accompanied by the vowels A, O, or U, is pronounced as K, as a hard C, a K sound. For example, caballo, café. All right. Now, when it is accompanied by the vowels E and I, it is pronounced in two different forms. Okay? This gets a little confusing, but in Latin America it is pronounced as an S, and in Spain it is pronounced as TH, as in the word thief. Now, same with the letter Z in Spain, okay, it's pronounced with a TH, okay? The difference is Spanish, kind of, from Spain, they act with a certain lisp. They pronounce it with a small lisp. For example, cepillo, okay? But normally you would want to pronounce that with an S sound. So if we have the C is followed by an E or an I, okay, it's a soft S. It's a soft C, like an S sound. Okay, if it's followed by an A, O, or U, it is a hard C, like a K sound. So for example, here we have hard C. Caballo, café. Next, we have a soft C followed by an E. Ese cepillo es nuevo. Now, in this word, we have both a hard C and then a soft C. So, estoy de vacaciones. Same with this word cocina, a hard C and then a soft C. Cocina en la cena. Okay, so a hard C, ¿cuánto cuesta? Okay, now for example, with the Z, it's normally pronounced like an S. Mis zapatos son cafés. But in Spain, they would pronounce it with a little bit of a lisp. So for example, el zipper es azul. Or la zorra está en el zoológico. Okay, guys, so now that we've gone over a few of those letters, those are just some of the pronunciation differences that might be a bit more difficult as an English speaker when you first encounter them. But overall, guys, that is our lesson on the alphabet. Hope you enjoyed.